Zala stepped into the Mango Grove Lounge, her favorite place for meeting the girls. She wore a black patterned wrapper jumpsuit that shimmered slightly as sunlight spilled in through the wide bamboo windows. Her walk was graceful and strong, like someone who had climbed many hills barefoot, and now moved with the confidence of one who knew her worth. Zala was young, wealthy, and admired by many. She was what every girl in Kasari town dreamed to become. But even with her charm and poise, Zala was alone, not because no man wanted her, but because she chose to be. Her heart bore deep wounds from past lovers, men who came like rain in the dry season, only to flood her life with pain. One of them had broken her so badly she had ended up in the hospital. Since then, Zala had built walls, not just around her heart but her whole being. Her friends, most of them now married, often teased her. "Zala, you are too hard on men. All of them are not the same." But Zala would laugh and shake her head, saying, "Keep dreaming, my sisters. The last batch of good men left with our fathers." This afternoon was one of their usual meetups. Abeni, Zala's closest friend, had called them all together, promising she had news. They gathered at the round wooden table, sipping sweet hibiscus drinks and trading stories. Sade bragged about her husband's new job in the capital. Bola giggled about her son's mischief. And then, Abeni dropped the news like thunder on dry land. I'm engaged," she said, holding up her left hand where a ring caught the sun. Gasps filled the room, followed by excited squeals. All but Zala. Her smile was weak, her mind racing. "Engaged? To who?" she asked, forcing a friendly tone. But her eyes searched Abeni's face. "His name is Dimeji." Abeni beamed. "We met 6 moons. Hago, can you imagine? And now he says he's sure I'm the one." Zala blinked. 6 moons? Abeni, that's too quick. You don't know him yet." The other ladies groaned. "Ah, Zala, again. Must you bring storm clouds to every sunny day? Can't you just be happy for love?" Sade scolded. Zala chuckled without joy. "I'm happy for you, Abeni. Just be careful." Abeni leaned forward, touching Zala's hand. "You'll be my maid of honor, won't you?" Zala nodded slowly. She didn't want to ruin Abeni's joy. If this was what Abeni wanted, Zala would stand by her, at least until she had a reason not to. A week. Later, Zala went to the town market for groceries. As she stood comparing 2 bottles of red palm oil, a voice spoke behind her. "You also struggling to pick the better one?" The voice teased. She turned. A tall, dark-skinned man in a soft linen shirt stood there, smiling with confidence. He had the easy air of someone who always got his way. "I'm Dimeji," he said warmly. "And you are?" Zala's breath caught. That name? No, it couldn't be. Dimeji was a common name. Still, she stayed calm. "I'm Zala," she replied. Dimeji's eyes sparkled. "Zala, you have a powerful name. It suits you." She offered a stiff smile, already sensing danger. Men like him spoke sweet like honey but carried poison underneath. "I'm not looking for new friends," she said, handing him a card with her number. "Don't get any ideas." In the days that followed, Dimeji didn't give up. He called, he texted, he said all the right things, but Zala didn't melt. "I'm not interested in some short fairy tale, Dimeji," she told him. "It's not a fling," he insisted. "Zala, I've never met a woman like you. You're fire. I want to be part of your flame." Zala laughed without joy. "I've been burned before." Meanwhile, Abeni was buzzing with wedding plans. "We've picked a date. 2 moons from now. All my sisters must be involved." Zala frowned. "Why so fast, Abeni? There's no rush." The others rolled their eyes. "Zala, not everyone sees demons in the bushes like you," Bola joked. They moved on, ignoring her concern. Later, Ayana, one of the few single ones among them, leaned toward Abeni. "When will we meet this mystery man?" Abeni giggled. "Soon. At dinner. This weekend." That evening, Zala dressed up but carried a knot in her stomach. Could it be? No. She was just being paranoid, right? The dinner began joyfully. Laughter filled the room. Then Abeni walked in, holding hands with Dimeji. Zala's heart dropped. Dimeji froze when he saw her, but he quickly masked his shock. Zala, however, did not. Her smile was icy. So it was him. The others were dazzled. What a fine man. Perfect couple, they chirped. Dimeji avoided her gaze the entire night. When Zala returned home, her phone rang. Zala, please, I can explain. Dimeji begged. She laughed bitterly. Explain what? That you're courting my friend and chasing me? If I met you first, things would be different. I feel something real for you, Zala snapped. Are you mad? You still have the guts to say this while you're engaged? Listen, Dimeji, don't play with Abeni. If you're not serious, leave her. She ended the call, blocked his number. Her belief that men were all trouble grew stronger. She couldn't let Abeni fall deeper into this trap. But she knew if she told her, she might not believe. Still, the next day, Zala visited Abeni. How well do you know Dimeji? If he were cheating, would you want to know? Abeni blinked, then laughed. Zala, not every man is evil. Dimeji calls me every hour. He adores me. Zala tried to say more, but Abeni waved her off. Your past isn't ours. Let us be. Zala held back her tears. Her friend was walking into fire. Wedding day came. The church was full. Zala sat with the others, tense. When the priest asked, "Does anyone object?" Zala's hand twitched. Her friends noticed and gently held her arms down. No one stood, vows were exchanged. Abeni and Dimeji became husband and wife. At the reception, one by one, friends gave heartfelt speeches. Then Zala stood. She smiled, looked Abeni in the eye. I love you, my sister. But sometimes, love means saying the hard truth. I don't believe. You made the right choice. Gasps, murmurs. Dimeji is a liar. He's been chasing me for weeks. The hall exploded in whispers. Dimeji stood up, red with rage. She's lying. She wanted me, and I refused. She's bitter. Eyes turned to Zala. She didn't flinch. Ayana, she said, turning. What were you doing with Dimeji last night at the Okan Inn? Shall I show the pictures? Ayana froze. Abeni stared. Ayana, tell me it's a lie. Ayana burst into tears. I'm sorry. He told me he didn't love you. That it was you he was trying to escape. Abeni stumbled backward as if thunder had struck her heart. Her hands flew to her head and hot tears spilled down her cheeks. Dimeji rushed forward, his face full of panic. Please, Abeni, he pleaded. It's not what it looks like. I made a mistake, but it's you I love. But Abeni stepped away, trembling. The betrayal cut deep. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't think. And then she turned and ran from the hall, her sobs trailing behind her like a song of sorrow. Just then, Sade sprang up, fire flashing in her eyes. She pointed at Zala and shouted, Look what you've done. You destroyed your best friend's wedding because you can't find your own love. Are you happy now? Zala turned slowly, her voice sharp and low. Sade, maybe you should stop worrying about my empty ring finger and start checking the smoke rising in your own home. Gasps circled the hall. Sade's face tightened. Don't be silly. There's nothing wrong with my marriage. Not everyone is as unlucky as you. Zala's voice grew colder. Oh yes? Then why is your maid always so busy when you're not home? Shall I give you details? The crowd stirred. Murmurs filled the air. Sade staggered, clutching her chest. No, that can't be true. I saw them myself, Zala said flatly. But I kept quiet. Until today. Without another word, Sade stormed out, rage and heartbreak tearing at her heels. Zala turned to the rest of the circle, her eyes sweeping the women. Tanny, she said gently, do you know where your husband goes when he says he's away for business? Tanny's eyes widened, her lips trembled. No, he always said, Zala stepped closer. He's got another home, with another woman, a full second life. I thought you knew. The crowd gasped again. Tenny let out a painful cry, covered her mouth and ran out of the hall, her shame too heavy to carry. Leah tried to speak, but Zala turned to her sharply. You think your husband won't cheat because you're feeding him? He's the wife in your house while you play the man. And that big promotion, do you want me to remind you how it came about? Leah's face broke. She turned slowly toward her husband, who stood frozen. Hurt carved his face like a blade. Then he walked away in silence, leaving her to drown in her guilt. The wedding was no longer a celebration. It had become a battlefield. Guests scattered, like ants in the rain. That night, Zala returned home and wept alone. She had spoken the truth, but it had cost her everything. The silence that followed was louder than drums. She tried calling Abeni. Her line was off. No friend replied to her messages. Her soul felt like it was walking barefoot on hot coals. A week passed. Then one quiet morning, a knock came at Zala's door. When she opened it, Abeni stood there, her eyes swollen but calm. Thank you, Abeni said softly. I couldn't see it before, but you were protecting me. You saved me. If I had married him, I don't even want to imagine what he would have turned me into. Zala hugged her, tears streaming again. I'm sorry, Zala whispered. I didn't want to hurt you. I just couldn't watch you get dragged into his lies. You deserve better, Abeni nodded. Even if it was painful, I'd rather face the truth than live blind. Later, Abeni called the other women for lunch. Everyone came, except Ayana. As they sat around sipping Zobo drinks, the air was thick with emotions. Then Sade spoke first. You were right, Zala, she said, eyes low. I caught them that same day, my maid and my husband. And he didn't even deny it. He told me he liked her better, told me I could leave if I wanted. Gasps again. The women leaned in. I moved out, Sade continued. He hasn't even called since, but I won't beg him. I was too busy being Mrs. Somebody that I ignored. My own eyes, now I'm just Sade, and that's enough. The ladies nodded and held her hands. Next was Tenny. I always suspected, she said, but I was too afraid to look closely. After the wedding day, I confronted him. He admitted everything, said he'd end things with the other woman. We're doing therapy now. It's not easy, but he's trying. We're proud of you, Abeni said, hugging her. And we're here if you need us. They turned to Leah. She looked down. Her voice shook. My husband was heartbroken, she began, but he said he would take any job, no matter how small, to support our home again. I confessed everything to the church. We're trying to rebuild. Zala listened quietly. For once, she felt peace inside her. I didn't mean to destroy anyone, she said softly. I only wanted us to stop living in lies. Abeni squeezed her hand. We know. It was painful, but needed. Thank you. Just then, Ayana walked in, her eyes swollen with guilt. She walked straight to Abeni and fell to her knees. I'm sorry, she said. I betrayed you. If you never forgive me, I understand. But I'm ashamed. Truly. The room held its breath. Abeni reached down and lifted Ayana to her feet. We all make mistakes, she said. I forgive you. Let's grow from this. Let's never let men break us again. They hugged. The circle was whole again. Zala watched them, her heart finally still. What she feared would destroy them had become the very thing that healed them. She raised her glass. To truth, she said. To truth, they echoed, clinking glasses. Abeni turned to Zala and smiled. I know it wasn't easy for you, but I will never forget what you did. You risked everything for us. Zala nodded. Maybe I needed it too. I've been holding on to so much pain, but I'm ready to let go. Ayana laughed. So, does that mean Zala might go on a date again? Laughter erupted around the table. Zala rolled her eyes playfully. One step at a time, they laughed together, loud and free. And for the first time in many seasons, Zala felt her heart open just a little. Her walls had protected her long enough. Maybe it was time to let some light in. They raised their glasses one final time. To truth, to sisterhood, and to new beginnings. In the end, true friendship isn't about staying quiet. It's about speaking up when it matters most. Because sometimes saving someone means telling them the truth, even if it breaks their heart. Thank you for listening to our story. Would you have stayed silent like Zala almost did? Or would you have spoken up, no matter the cost? Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more tales like this one. Until next time, stay wise and stay true.